So, welcome back, and this is lecture number 35. Today we will continue again with triple integral, and we will look for the change of variables in case of triple integral. So, first we will go through the example where we change from Cartesian to spherical polar coordinates. So, a very important change of coordinates. So, here what we have, first let us take this Cartesian coordinates, and suppose there is a point here x y z, and when we are talking about the Cartesian coordinate. So, this distance now from here to the x y plane. So, if we draw a perpendicular here to this x y plane, then this distance is the z coordinate from this x y 0 point to this x y z point, and from the x axis along this y axis, the distance of this point, which was the perpendicular from this x y z point to the x y point, is given by the y, and then this x coordinate, that is the distance from the origin. So, here we have this point as the origin. So, from the origin to this point, that is the distance given by x. So, this is x here, and then along this y direction we have this distance y, and then this is the perpendicular distance along this z axis, this is the z. Now, our question is, when we change into the spherical polar coordinates, then what would be r, theta and phi. So, the coordinates in spherical polar coordinates we denote by r, theta and phi. So, r is precisely the distance from the origin to this point. So, now in spherical polar coordinate, this distance from the origin to this point, to the given point, will be denoted by r, and then these two are the angles. These two are the angles theta and phi. So, here the angle theta will be the angle to this point which was the perpendicular from this x y z point to the x y plane. So, this is the angle phi from the x axis. So, this here from the x axis to this line, which is in the x y plane, to this point x y 0, that is the angle phi. And now, this theta angle, the theta is the angle with this z axis, which this line which is joining this origin to this x y z point in the space, that angle is denoted by theta. So, again to represent this point which was x y z in spherical coordinate, and now in Cartesian coordinate, and now in spherical coordinate, this is denoted by r, theta and phi. And now, r is the distance from the origin to this point, theta is the angle from the z axis, and now this phi is the angle from the x axis to the point which was the perpendicular from this given point to the x y plane. So, with this notation of the spherical polar coordinates, we will now introduce the change of variables in triple integral. So, the relation between this x y z and this r, theta, phi is given by x is equal to r sin theta cos phi, and y is equal to r sin theta sin phi, and z is equal to r cos theta. So, that is the standard relation between the spherical polar coordinates and the Cartesian coordinate. And now, we note that if we make this square here for x square and y square and z square, because this term will be r square sin square theta and this cos square phi. Here also we will have r square sin square theta, the common, and then here sin square phi. So, again when we add all, so this cos square phi plus sin square phi will make it 1, and then we have here also r square this cos square theta, and from there r square sin square theta. So, again this sin square theta plus cos square theta will be 1, and we will get simply r square. So, that is the again a relation which we will keep in mind, that will be useful in integration. So, whenever we see such a term x square plus y square and z plus z square, and we are going to change the coordinate system. So, we will simply put this x square plus y square plus z square is equal to r square. So, now with this introduction to the change from Cartesian coordinates to spherical polar coordinates, we can talk about the triple integrals. So, here if we have a triple integral given as f x y z and dx dy dz over some domain D, and we want to change to the spherical coordinate, meaning that x will be r sin theta cos phi, y will be r sin theta sin phi, and z will be r cos theta. So, with this change of variables, now the idea is that this is the simple idea which we have also explained in previous lecture, that we need to substitute x is equal to r sin theta cos phi. So, this is here r sin theta cos phi. Then for y we have substituted here r sin theta this sin phi, and for z this r cos theta, which was the relation there, z is equal to r cos theta. So, with this we have now this Jacobian term, that is the extra term which comes when we do this change of variables. So, that Jacobian we need to compute, and then our dx dy dz will become dr d theta and d phi. So, and then correspondingly the limits will change, or the domain in terms of now r theta phi we have to represent. So, what is this Jacobian here? That is a given definition which we have already discussed, that the first row will be del x over del r, del x over del theta, and del x over del phi. So, the partial derivative of x with respect to r, theta and phi. Similarly, the second row of this determinant will be partial derivative of y with respect to r, theta, phi, and then here the partial derivative of z with respect to r, theta and phi. So, del x over del r, when we compute this partial derivative, we will have sin theta cos phi, and del x over del theta. So, with respect to theta, so r and phi will be treated as constant. So, this sin theta will become this cos theta here, that is the only change. So, this with respect to theta, and then we have del x over del phi. So, x was r sin theta cos phi. So, this cos phi will become sin phi, and with this minus sign, because this derivative of cos phi is minus sin phi. Similarly, we can now compute other derivatives. So, del y over del r will be simply this sin theta sin phi, which is the term here, and then we have del y over del theta. So, this will be with cos theta, the rest sin and r will remain, and then with respect to phi, this sin phi will become this cos phi, and r sin theta will remain as it is. Similarly, now with respect to this z, with respect to r we will have cos theta here, and with respect to theta we will have minus sin theta, and the r will remain as it is. And then we have here with respect to phi of this z. So, z does not have phi, it is z is equal to r cos theta, and therefore, we have this 0 here, because there is no phi term in z. So, del z over del phi will be 0. And now, we can simply compute this determinant, we can determine the value that will be coming here r square sin theta. So, now we will remember that this Jacobian term, which is coming because of this change of variables in this triple integral, the value of this Jacobian term is nothing but r square sin theta. So, now the Cartesian coordinate to the cylindrical coordinates. So, again the representation for this point x y z in the Cartesian coordinate, and it will be represented now in this cylindrical coordinate by r phi and z. So, again this triplet with r, phi and z. So, z is precisely the same which was in Cartesian coordinate. So, the distance from this point to this perpendicular drawn to the x y plane. So, that distance, the third member of this point here is the same as this z in the Cartesian coordinate, and now this phi is similar to what we have in the spherical coordinate. That is the angle precisely this one which we have already discussed, that is the phi which is from this x axis to this line which is joining this origin to this x y 0 point on the x y plane. And now this r is again that distance here from this point to this. Now, that is a difference here. In spherical coordinate we had this r from this point to the given point, but now this r is the distance in the x y plane. So, basically in the x y plane we are representing by the polar coordinate. R is the distance to this point and phi is the angle from this x axis, and this z here it is the same as the given in the Cartesian coordinate. So, there is no change in the z, and this x y simply they are given by this r phi, and that is nothing but the polar coordinate in this x y plane. So, x, the relation again since it is a polar coordinate in this x y plane. So, x is r cos phi and y is r sin phi. So, in polar coordinate we used to call this angle theta, but now it is a different representation, we are calling it phi. So, the relation remains exactly the same, x is equal to r cos phi and y is equal to r sin phi, and this z is same as the z in the Cartesian coordinate. So, this is the simple relation when we talk about the cylindrical coordinate, and here this relation again coming from the polar coordinate, that this x square plus y square will be r square in this case. So, here now if we talk about the triple integral and the change of variables. So, we have this integral which is written in this Cartesian coordinates, and if we want to make this change of variables here, x is equal to r cos phi, y is equal to r sin phi and z is equal to z. In that case this integral will be written as, so the direct substitution for x here r cos phi, for y we have replaced by r sin phi, and z because it was same there. So, it remains z, and then this Jacobian term will come again and dr d phi dz instead of dx dy dz, because our variables are r, phi and z now in case of the cylindrical coordinate. So, this is the cylindrical, not the spherical one, but the cylindrical coordinates. So, cylindrical coordinates. So, in this case we have this Jacobian now, which we can compute by this determinant. Again this first row will be partial derivative of x with respect to r, then phi and then z, but there is no z. So, naturally this will become 0 here, y also does not have z, this will become 0, and this is 1 here. So, these are the trivial situations that this will become 0 because x does not have z, y also does not have z, this will also become 0, and this will become 1, and then we can compute del x over del r and del x over del phi. So, simply this is coming like cos phi minus r sin phi 0 0 and here 1, and then of y with respect to r that will be sin phi, and here sin phi will become cos phi with this derivative 0, and this z has only z. So, there is no r and phi. So, naturally these members will be 0 here, and once we compute this determinant, so this will be coming simply r. So, again because there was no change in z. So, basically this is similar to what we do in polar coordinates. So, we are changing from Cartesian to polar coordinates because the x and y are changed, not the z. Z remains as it is in the polar in this is cylindrical coordinates. So, we have again the Jacobian which was also in polar coordinate as r. So, the only change when we do this change in this triple integral, this x will be replaced by r cos phi, y will be replaced by r sin phi, and z will remain as it is, and this factor here, this Jacobian will be r, and dx dy dz will become dr d phi and dz. So, let us go through some problems where we can use the idea of this changing to cylindrical coordinates in this problem number 1. So, changing to cylindrical coordinates, we evaluate this integral. So, the integrand is z and x square plus y square dx dy dz, and this domain D is given by x square plus y square less than equal to 1. So, that is the disk, circular disk, and then we have in the direction of z as well, that means it varies from 2 to 3. So, the z coordinates are directly given, that z varies from 2 to 3, and then we have this circular disk here in the xy plane, x square plus y square less than equal to 1. So, this is a cylinder here with radius 1, circular cylinder with radius 1, and it varies in the direction of this z from 2 to 3. So, this is the picture here, the x coordinate, y coordinate and this z coordinate, and we have from z is equal to 2 to z is equal to 3, that is the height of this cylinder along this z axis, and that is the axis of the cylinder as well. And then we have the circular disk here, which is x square plus y square less than 1. So, the radius of this cylinder is 1, and the height here is from 2 to 3. So, it is natural to use for instance, the cylindrical coordinates, because this is exactly the cylinder is given, and it will be much more convenient if you use cylindrical coordinate in such problems. So, we have the relation that x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta, and z remains z as usual. We also know that this x square plus y square in this case will become this r square, and also the Jacobian term which will be requiring for this change of variable of this triple integral, and that is in cylindrical coordinate, that is also r, we have just evaluated in the previous slide. So, now this integral, the given integral will be represented in this polar coordinate. So, this r here, that is for the Jacobian. So, we have this term because of the Jacobian, and then this dr d phi and d theta, which will be replaced for this dx dy dz with this extra Jacobian term. And then the first let us discuss this integrand. So, the z as it is and x square plus y square has become now r square. Now, we come to the limits here for r. So, it is very clear that, or let us first put the limits of the z. So, the z limits are trivially given there, that z varies from 2 to 3. So, the limits of z 2 to 3. So, once we have covered the limits of z, then what is left? It is a projection to the xy plane, and that is nothing but the circle. So, here once we have fixed this limits of z, what is left now is a circle in the xy plane, which we know already in polar coordinates what will be the limits for the circle. The r is going from 0 to 1, because that is the radius here is 1 of the circle. So, r is moving from 0 to 1, and then the theta is moving from 0 to 2 pi, the whole circle. So, or the phi in this case, we take in cylindrical polar coordinate here phi. So, phi varies from 0 to 2 pi, and r goes from 0 to 1, and then we have changed the integral, we have taken care for the Jacobian term, and now we can evaluate this integral. So, this is the integral we want to evaluate. So, first we will go with this evaluation of the integral with respect to r. So, here we have r cube dr, that is the integral, and r goes from 0 to 1. So, this r cube when we integrate will be r 4 divided by 4, and when we put the limits there 0 and 1. So, we will get nothing but 1 by 4, and the z remain as it is, and we have 2 more integrals now with respect to phi and with respect to z. So, with respect to phi, there is no phi term in the integrand. So, simply it will be phi and then we will put the limit 0 to 2 pi. So, the upper limit will give 2 pi. So, for this integral with respect to phi, we will get 2 pi. So, 2 pi and this by 4 and then we have z dz. Again this z dz is z square by 2 and then we need to put this upper limit and the lower limit. So, this will be z square by 2 and then 2 to 3. So, this is 1 by 2 and then we have here 9 and minus this 4. So, that is 5 here. So, 5 by 2 and then this 2 will get cancelled. So, we have 5 by 4. So, that is the value of this given integral, and with the help of this cylindrical coordinate which was natural because of the domain was cylinder and also the integrand was having this x square plus y square term, and that becomes immediately this r square, and then everything became very simple to integrate once we change to the polar coordinate. So, we take another problem here, changing to spherical coordinate. So, now we will change to spherical coordinate to evaluate this integral. So, here we need to be again very careful that what are the limits here. The limits are this x square plus y square to 1, and then we have 0 to square root 1 minus x square, and we have for the x 0 to 1. So, we have to identify looking at the limits of the integral, that what is the domain, because once we know the domain, then it is easier to represent that in the spherical coordinates as well. So, in this case the limits for this z, that is the inner one. So, z goes from x square plus y square to 1, and here this is for y goes from 0 to square root 1 minus x square, and this x goes from 0 to 1. So, these are the limits. So, here z is equal to x square plus y square, that is the first, the inner one, the most inner one. So, x square plus y square, or z square is equal to x square plus y square. So, this is nothing but that is the equation of the cone we have. So, that means in the direction of z we are going from this cone which is represented by z is equal to x square plus y square, and that is the cone here. So, this is x and this is y, then and this is z here. So, in the direction of z, so that is the cone here. This is represented by this equation z is equal to square root x square plus y square. So, what we realize from here, that z is going from this cone to 1, to fixed number 1. So, z ends here in the direction of z at z is equal to 1. So, that is a plane parallel to this xy plane at z is equal to 1. So, here always the z moves from this cone to this z is equal to 1. So, that is the direction of the z, and then if we look closely here, y is equal to square root x 1 minus x square, that means y square plus x square is equal to 1. So, that is the circle, and here x goes also from 0 to 1. So, the y, that is a projection of this cone here in the xy plane, that will be the projection in the xy plane. So, here we have x and y. If we project this cone, we will get this xy circle in this xy plane whose radius will be 1. So, this the two outermost limits suggest now that y is moving from 0 to this circle, y is from 0 to circle, and x from 0 to 1. So, that is the portion of this circle. So, 1/4 of the circle here in the positive quadrant, and then we have in the direction of this z up to z is equal to 1 and from the cone. So, only this portion of this circle and then the corresponding cone here is represented by these limits. So, this is the cone here up to z is equal to 1 and it starts from the origin, but as we have just discussed that this x is equal to 0 to 1 and y is equal to this 0 to square root 1 minus x square suggests that we are in the first quadrant of this x y plane. So, naturally this is the cone which is represented here, and now we need to convert into the spherical coordinates. So, for spherical coordinates we have the relation x is equal to r sin theta cos phi, y is equal to r sin theta sin phi, and z is equal to r cos theta. So, with this relation we can easily compute this Jacobian, which we have already discussed, that is r square sin theta, and we have also this relation here x square plus y square plus z square is equal to r square. And now we need to compute, because we need this angle here which is required in this spherical coordinate, which is represented by this theta. So, the theta limits. So, just to note this, that z is equal to 1. So, this is the z is equal to 1 here. So, from here to here we have this distance 1, and then this circular part also has radius 1, that has also radius 1, because that is what we have observed there, that this z square is equal to x square plus y square. So, when z is 1, this is basically ending with the circular disc as x square plus y square is equal to 1. So, this distance is 1, this distance is 1. So, this is the maximum angle we have for this theta. So, theta angle to cover the whole this given cone will be from 0 to pi by 4, that will be the limit for the theta. And for the x y axis, for this phi and r, we have already observed that this is the portion we are going to cover it now. So, the r will go from 0 to 1, that will be r from 0 to 1, and for phi now, for phi will be 0 to pi by 2 to cover this portion there. So, once we have covered in this one direction as discussed before, that means in the direction of z, we are, yes, we have not discussed for the z here. So, the limits of this z will be from the cone and to this z is equal to 1. So, from this 0 to, we are going to this, we are talking about the spherical coordinate. So, we need r. So, r will be this distance from here to the points, the maximum distance there on this circular disc. So, z is equal to 1, that circular disc is nothing but z is equal to 1 there. So, we are moving from 0 for r, we are moving from 0 to this disc here, 0 to that disc here, 0 to this disc here. So, that z is equal to 1 will suggest us now for the limits of the r, because z is equal to already given r cos theta. So, this r cos theta is equal to 1, r cos theta is equal to 1 will give the r, because it depends on this angle theta, the r depends on this angle theta. Here for example, when theta is pi by 2, this r is nothing but 1, but here it is different and it is varying with theta. So, the r will be given by 1 over cos theta, and this theta we have discussed already 0 to pi by 4, and for phi we have discussed that it will go from 0 to pi by 2. So, this was for r, phi and theta we have discussed for all. So, we can now change the variables. So, this was the integral there and that will be converted. So, for r, that is the distance from here to that point in spherical polar coordinates, not in the cylindrical. Cylindrical we have only in the x y plane, we have to look for the theta and phi and r. So, now we are in the spherical coordinate. So, that r is the distance from this point to this where we exit this domain. So, that is exactly the z is equal to r, where r is given by 1 over cos theta. So, this is r from 0 to 1 over cos theta, that is sec theta here, and for the limits of the theta we have already discussed, that is a 0 to pi by 4, and for phi we will be moving from 0 to pi by 2, and that is 1 over this r here, because x square plus y square plus z square is r square. So, that is 1 by r, and this r square sin theta, that is the Jacobian term, r square sin theta, that is a Jacobian term, and then we have this dr d theta d phi. So, now we can easily integrate this one. So, first with respect to r, because this is r dr. So, we will have r square by 2, that means sec square theta by 2, and then we have sin theta here. So, this is nothing but the sin theta, and this 1 sec theta will go to 1 over cos theta. So, the tan theta sec theta. So, sec theta tan theta with this half, again we want to integrate with respect to theta. So, the integral of this sec theta tan theta will be again sec theta, and the limits here 0 to pi by 4, and this factor half is sitting there. Already we can substitute these limits. So, this sec pi by 4 will be square root 2 and then minus 1 there, and for phi we will get this phi by pi by 2. So, this 1 by 2 will make this 4. So, that is the value of the given integral, square root 2 minus 1 pi by 4. The last example where we will be changing again to spherical coordinate to evaluate this integral, and again the changing to the spherical coordinate, we have to look for the geometry what we are having in this integral limits. So, for the inner one, z goes from 0 to square root 1 minus x square minus y square, that means z square plus x square plus y square is equal to 1. So, we are moving from in the direction of z from 0 to that sphere of radius 1, that is the equation z is equal to square root 1 minus x square minus y square, that is the sphere. So, we are moving from 0 in the direction of z to that sphere. So, we have to now look a little bit more careful, and then in the direction of this y and this x, this is nothing but that circle only when this sphere is projected to this x y plane, and then we have x from 0 to 1 and y from 0 to 1 by square root 1 minus x square. So, that is precisely in the x y plane what we have, that is the values for the y and x, that is a circular part of this limits, and then here in the direction of this z we are moving from 0 to the sphere, 0 to the sphere. So, now again this is natural to consider the spherical coordinate which will convert this. So, x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, and z is equal to r cos theta. The j will be this r square sin theta, and again this relation. So, now this integral will be converted to this integral. So, we have this Jacobian term, we have 1 over square root 1 minus r square, and then dr d phi d theta. So, now for this r, the limits of r always from this 0 to that sphere, 0 to that sphere. So, the distance from origin to that sphere is constant, that is the radius of this sphere, because the sphere has the center 0 and radius 1. So, that radius is 1. So, r goes from 0 to 1 to that sphere, and then we have to see about this angle phi, which is the angle phi first. So, which is from this x axis. So, that is 0 to pi by 2, because that was 0 to this square root 1 minus x square. So, that is in the x y plane, and then we have the limits of the theta. So, again to cover this sphere in this positive this octant. So, we have to go from 0 to pi by 2. So, with these limits we have covered all these the whole given spherical part, and now we can easily integrate, because with respect to r we have here r square over 1 minus r square. So, first we are evaluating the inner integral r square divided by square root 1 minus r square. So, here by substitution this r is equal to sin t, we can easily get this sin square t, which will be converted to 1 minus cos 2 t, which we can integrate now, and the value will be pi by 4. So, the value of this inner integral is pi by 4, and then we have sin theta d phi d theta. So, this again this d phi will give us pi by 2 only, and then the outer one sin theta will be cos theta with minus sin and 0 to pi by 2. So, we will get pi square by 8 the value of this integral. So, what we have seen now, at least two special cases where we have considered the spherical coordinate and also the cylindrical coordinate in this triple integral. The concept was this change of variables where the Jacobian we need to convert, and the most difficult part again in this triple integral is finding the limits corresponding to the given space here. In spherical we have to represent the coordinates in spherical coordinate when we are changing, or in cylindrical coordinates, but the evaluation become much easier if we have a suitable change there in variables. So, these are the references we have used, and thank you very much for your attention.